Hi, I'm David, and here's an introduction to PiP Designer. There are 6 PiP timelines available in PowerDirector 7. Click on the Add More PiP Tracks button, and the Track Manager pops up. There are 6 default selections and 5 further PiPs to choose from. Click one, then click OK. We now have 2 timelines for PiPs. No need for 2 PiPs at this stage, we'll just work with one of them, so we'll uncheck this one and then click OK. A PiP can be placed anywhere in the track. Click and drag one down and it displays. Click the Modify button and it brings up PiP Designer. Let's first click the TV safe zone and the toggle grid lines. This will be a guide to us to know where we're positioning this PiP. Now let's look at the Apply Chroma Key. Tick this box, click the Apply Chroma Key. Now we're not going too far into this because we've got another video to show you on how to use the chroma key. So for this stage we'll just leave it just there for you to go and watch the next video. We'll uncheck the chroma key and move on to Apply Shadow. And as you can see, the shadow is immediately placed around the image in the timeline. Let's go and have a look at the shadow settings. Click on it, bring up the shadow settings, and you see it's got a default shadow color of black. We have a shadow direction. We have sliders for distance, blur and transparency, and we can move all these just by moving them. Give it a bit of a blur. I think a blur is quite useful to have. Just leave it a little bit of a blur in there. Put a bit of transparency into it. Yeah, a bit more effective. How about the color? Leave that one as it is? I agree, we should. Click the X and we're finished. We're done with that one to close. Let's go to Apply Borders. Check the Apply Borders box. Go to the border settings. You see we've already had a border put round it. Let's edit that as well. We've got a few more extra tools here. Let's put a bit of extra color in there. Do we want a uniform white? No, perhaps we'll have a green this time. Click OK. How about giving it a gradient color? Make it a green again. How about changing the amount of gradient in there? Very easy, just click this inner part button here, move it around. Are we done with this one? Everybody understand? Good. Let's move on then. So we close this file just by clicking this box here where it says X for close. We have a large selection of masks to choose from. Move the slider down and choose one. Just click on it and the shape changes. We can of course move this to any location. Leave it in the safe area and it'll display just as you want. Bring it back to its original simply by clicking the cross. So there's no mask on it. Move it. All very easy. Notice we've got a tick box down here. The tick box is useful because we maintain the aspect ratio of the image or video file we place into the PiP Designer. If we untick it, we can squash this down in shape, left or right, and we can squash it up. Keep it ticked and the aspect of the video or image file stays the same. Notice we have another tick box here, only show the selected PiP track. At the moment we've only got one PiP track, but if we were to tick that, the one we're working in would be the only one showing. As it is, if we had more than one image, all of them would be there. Next, let's click on the Add Edit Motion for the PiP. We're going to add some motion to the image or video file we have. Let's click on the first one. There we have the root of the path. Line of motion set there. Let's go through and play it. The speed of the movement is set by the length of the clip. Let's check the rotation movement. We can actually alter it. Do you see the alteration? And the direction changes? How about this one? Let's type in a different 260-degree change, then hit return on your keyboard. Wow, look at the difference. We have a transparency, just move the slider slightly. You can see the image disappear. All very easy. Leave it set like that. If you're happy with all that, you'd click OK. How about adding a keyframe? Let's move the slider along and position a keyframe. Click the plus sign of the keyframe and we have positioned the keyframe just here. Move the slider along and you can see it appear in the motion path at this point with the blue mark. Let's move it along a little bit more and add another keyframe. Let's decide what we want to do. We have a start point and a finish point. We can decide that we want to have this image file or video file, whichever it is in there, finish at a larger size. We can decide that point there, we can have it very small, so we move this to make it smaller. We can decide then at this point here to be in another direction, and we drag it out in this direction. So what we've done along the motion path is we've changed by adding a keyframe. We've created a point of change instruction to the PiP designer. The PiP movement along the motion path can then be changed. The size and direction of the image or video can be altered, and that is exactly what we've done. To remove a keyframe, just go to the point where you want it taken away from, click minus, and the keyframe is gone. Go to save, type in a name, click OK, go to custom path, and you'll see our custom path is saved just here. Click OK, and the job is done.